Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us for our special update on the severe thunderstorms tracking down over Auckland and other parts of the North Island as we go through Monday. This video was recorded around 9 o'clock this morning, Monday, so some of the timing will change, obviously, as the system moves through, but let's try and explain what is exactly going on. So the thunderstorms are forming here around the Auckland area at the moment, but it will be sliding down the eastern side of the upper North Island. There are two sets of weather. We've got this big windy nor'easter, which has been blowing through Auckland and eastern Waikato over the last 24 hours. It's now eased in Auckland, but those windy conditions are moving down the country. The second part of it, where those severe thunderstorms currently lie, and that is in this cluster of cloud here right over the top of Auckland and moving into Coromandel, eastern Waikato, and then Bay of Plenty. You can see it really exploding into life too. As it moves into that Auckland area, that's where it gets a lot more oomph, and it's fueled by that subtropical airflow. So there's a lot of cloud being pushed down across the country, but the heaviest downpours are up here around Auckland, Waikato, and Coromandel as we recorded this. And so this was the radar around 9 o'clock this morning, or at least this is what was just before 9 o'clock as it moved out of Northland. So that's the area there with the red, if you can see that. That's the main line, and it just runs down in a southeast direction like that along our eastern coastline. So as I say, at the time we recorded this, it was moving right over the top of Auckland. There'll be blue sky behind it. That's the remarkable thing. You can see the clear line, not much behind it, but pretty intense, and it's quite slow moving as well. And there's even the risk of a isolated tornado. So even though those windy nor'easters start to calm down, inside those severe thunderstorms could be something else, which be downdraft or even a small tornado. So like I say, at the time that we recorded this, this is where all these thunderstorms were lying, lots of them clustered around Auckland and moving out into the Hauraki Gulf, getting up to around the upper part of the Coromandel Peninsula near Port Jackson, Waiheke Island, and even the Waitakere Ranges, seeing some isolated thunderstorms forming out there. But the main cluster along that eastern coastline, and it's sliding, moving southeastwards down that eastern side of the North Island. So let's try and make sense of that. Here is how we are for today. This is lunchtime today with rainfall for the rest of today added to it. So the low parked out here, not too stormy, 1,000 hectopascals, but it's driving down that tropical airflow. That's why it's so humid and warm again in the north, and that's fueling these big downpours. Now this area here shaded, that's 50 to 80 millimeters still to come through for today. So there's a lot of rain moving down that eastern side, but the areas with yellow and gold around it, which even gets into Nelson, much lower, 20 to maybe 40 millimeters in that area. So as we go through into the forecast, here is lunchtime Tuesday. The low hasn't changed. The rain band has now moved further in towards Bay of Plenty, where there's still 50 to 80 millimeters possible under that line of thunderstorms and downpours. Might ease back a little bit. They sort of change shape as they move along, but that's where the main energy will be lunchtime on Tuesday. You can see behind it all that blue. That's just the bottom of the scale. Chance of a shower, and it might be a light drizzly shower, or it might even be another afternoon downpour. That's possible, and a little bit of wet weather coming down into Canterbury too. So by Wednesday, note what happens to the low. It splits in half. It's got a twin now out here to the northeast. That transfers more energy out to the eastern side and gives those downpours more fuel. So what we're seeing here is, in that purple zone, that's getting up to 100, 150 millimeters, mostly at sea, but it will be brushing parts of Bay of Plenty, East Cape, and maybe even coming down into Hawke's Bay and Gisborne as well. So this is an area to really keep a close eye on. The blue you see here around Auckland and Northland, the bottom of the scale, just a couple of showers, but there could still be an isolated heavy shower in that forecast. So as we move through to Thursday, the low consolidates again, and now it's deepening. It's forming into a new system. 992 hectopascals, deepens up and drives in now southeasterly. But that rain continues right down to Waitarapa even. Keep up to date with ruralweather.co.nz or weatherwatch.co.nz to see your rainfall totals at your house. This is just the big picture, but if you need to see what you're likely to get at your house, just go to our website and search your location. But the heaviest rain on that eastern side on Thursday. And then by Friday, that low moves out to sea. The Chatham Islands have got a bit of rain, nothing too major though. And you'll notice there'll be a bit of a cooler southerly change in the New Zealand area. Pale blue, one or two showers, a bit of cloud around, nothing much to talk about. And by the time we reach Saturday, again, not a lot to talk about. In fact, now the South Island finally maybe gets a bit more interesting with the weather, because you've got a bit of a southerly flow, a bit of wet weather in there as well coming in for Southland, which I think will be welcome. And we've got a storm out here just west of Australia, for now remaining out at sea. So there we go, quite a bit to talk about. Big thumbs up to Met Service. They've been doing severe thunderstorm updates, live updates since 1 o'clock this morning. I've been getting all the texts, so they've been working very hard down there in Wellington, tracking those storms moving into the upper North Island, so well done to them. And all the Met Service warnings and the radar, live radar, can all be found on the weatherwatch.co.nz website. That's all from me. We'll see you on Tuesday. Stay safe, and when you hear thunder, don't forget to stay indoors.